But then we have Lois. There's a few things that I notice about Lois. Because she's a grandmother of faith and mystery. There's not a lot said about her. I mean, I dug around. But what I see is that she came from generations of faith. And it turns out that because she stayed faithful to her belief in God, to her faithfulness to the traditions, well, apparently she had known them all of her life as well. Where do you think she learned it? I don't think she was hugging any trees anywhere. Somebody raised her. I believe that her mom and maybe her grandma and perhaps maybe her dad, but she was raised in the way that she should go. And apparently she is known for her life of faith. And it seems that Lois was an intricate part of a close-knit family. And sometimes it happens that way. I'm so glad that my mom is living with us today. And, I am. Anybody understand what I'm talking about? Because today it's really tough. We don't have families as close-knit like they used to be. At least it doesn't seem that way. It doesn't appear that way. But Paul emphasizes how her living out her faith helped shape Timothy's character, helped him to become the man that he would become. Amen? And they went out and they impacted the world by establishing churches and working with Paul and continuing on to grow in his faith. So from mother to daughter to son. Oh wait, here's something I found. Look this up if you can. Maybe you've got a different resource. Lois is the only one in the Bible, the only woman, and I looked at different translations. I couldn't find any place else where anyone else was called a grandmother. Only Lois. I think it's significant. It's significant to notice that there was something special about her. So from mother to daughter to son. And what we see is we see the power of an exemplary life, one who lived in faith, one who lived out the truth, one who believed in God, and they adhered to the scriptures. And they imparted their faith. And can I tell you right now, imparting faith is a lifelong journey. You can't just one day have, and I tell you, some of you, I think that's how it happened. You took your kids to church one day, they said a prayer, and that was it. There was no more discipleship. And we missed the boat. How many of you know we can do better? What was Jesus' final command? Go and make disciples. Amen? So what am I saying? I've said all that I've said thus far to say this. There was no greater power given, no greater opportunity given, no greater responsibility given to women than to mold the lives of children. And for those of you who are married, sometimes you need to keep your husband in wraps. But with the examples of Moses and Samuel and Timothy and the mothers of faith, when we look at this, it seems like they have indirectly led nations. Someone said it just recently about certain leaders in the world, and certainly in our nation, that behind every great man is a great woman. I wonder if that could be true, and it actually started not by their wives, but by their mothers, their grandmothers, their aunties, and other women of faith. I mean, listen, without mothers like this, ladies, let me ask you this. Do you think that God's plan can be fulfilled without you fulfilling your responsibilities? Without you, and listen, I know there's a great expectation in this, but look at how God looks at you and how he favors you. And it should speak volumes to you when he says, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Why? Well, because you're going to need my help. And my wife's, one of her favorite verses, I can do what? All things through Christ who strengthens me. So mothers, this is your day. This is your day. And we honor you. And we're going to do the best that we can. And sometimes I don't think that we can do enough to honor the mothers. Just so you know, without mothers, there would be no fathers. There would be no children. And I'm not talking about virtual things. I'm talking about the real deal here. Amen?